Hello, and welcome to this short overview tutorial about how to read and understand this benchmarking guidance for these various types of positions for those of you who have earned your MBA. And by the way, congratulations on the extra effort that you have applied to earn that advanced degree. What we have here is basically the results in graphic format of the two major psychometric reports. Now this is just a minor part of the report, but it gives you an overview. So on the last page of your DISC report, you'll have this wheel. And it is basically broken down into the four major human behavioral factors of dominance. The I stands for influence or extroversion, the S for steadiness or patience, and the C for compliance or accuracy. Where the dot is represents Mr. Atul Patil's recommendation as to where you might likely fit in terms of your behaviors. For example, in this marketing role, someone who is very persuasive, someone who's very comfortable in dealing with other people, this would be a good type of role for you. The finance position, on the other hand, you see is very analytical. So you'll see completely different behavioral styles here. The human resource position also very good in dealing with other people, persuasive, likes engaging with people, etc. Now, as you know, there are two major measures that we include in this psychometric evaluation. The first one is the natural behaviors, which are plotted up here, and you'll find your scores on the last page of your report. And then we have the second measure is down here, and these are the workplace drivers or internal motivators. Now, this is research based out of Harvard University in the 1950s that identified that all of us as human beings have these 7 motivators. The question is, which are the really strongest ones? Because this represents your personal agenda. What is important to you? And as you well know, we always find time for what's important for us. So as we look at the first role in the marketing, we're looking for someone whose behaviors are very outgoing, very friendly, enjoys working with people, comfortable with them, etc. And then we look at the motivators, and the number one motivator in terms of strength is the economic. Now the way you want to look at this, you see this area here is a box plot. And what this represents is, in the middle is the mean score for the general population throughout the planet for this particular motivator. This is 1 standard deviation above, 1 standard deviation below. Those of you who have not studied statistics, this represents where 68% of the general population is going to plot somewhere in here. So this is very helpful because as you look at the various scores, you'll see that someone with a very high score will be influenced a great deal by the strength of this motivator, and then someone with a low score will be equally influenced by the absence of this particular motivator. So what you really want to determine is what is the distance between the mean score and the actual recommended plot of the benchmark. And then as you look at your report, which will be on page 5 of your workplace driver index, you'll see that those that are the furthest apart going up and furthest apart going down will be the ones that will have the greatest influence on you. Now, the motivators, there are 7 of them. The first one is the aesthetic. That's the desire for form, harmony, and balance in your life. If you have a high score, that's going to be really important for you. If you have a low score, you're very able to operate in a wide variety of different environments. Things don't have to be just so for you to be effective. This is the economic motivator. It is about financial return, but it's also about being efficient and effective. The next is the individualistic motivator, that is the desire for personal freedom and uniqueness. So you see that we're recommending that in this marketing role that it would be someone who does have a desire to do things a bit differently, to be unique, to be in control of their own environment and their own destiny. The next is the political motivator. This is the desire for personal power. So we find that all managers have this political power or political motivator in high strength, because they want to be in control. They want to manage their projects. The next is the altruistic. This is the desire to help other people. So it's going to be in the mainstream here, as is the regulatory, which is the desire to operate within a set of rules or structure. And finally, we have the theoretical, just slightly above average here. Those people with scores way up here are really the scientific types that always want to research more. I want to learn more, want to study more. Someone who's down here is going to be very practical, and it's let's just do it the way we've always done it. So these are the 7 motivators. These are the 4 major behavioral factors. And what we've given you here is a guideline so you can compare your wheel and your motivator hierarchy score to these various opportunities that would be available to you with your advanced degree. So the marketing role, we're looking for somebody who's outgoing, very interested in a return on their investment. It wants to be in control of their situation and wants to have a degree of personal freedom and is able to operate in a wide variety of environments. When we look at the finance opportunities, we're looking for somebody who's very analytical, very detail-oriented. Also somebody who's very interested in a return on their investment. But this time you see they have a much higher regulatory, wanting to follow the rules, follow structure, etc. A low altruistic, a high political, one, that's the personal power piece. In the mainstream for individualistic, and just slightly below for the aesthetic. Then we look at the human resource or the HR position. Again, we're looking for someone who's very comfortable in dealing with other people. Obviously, they are very regulatory focused, and they want to be in control of their situation, and they also have an interest in helping other people. So that's a really key piece, I think, of this human resource role, is that they're going to be very effective communicators. They're going to want to follow the rules. They're going to want to be in control, but they're also going to want to be able to help other people. It's going to be important to them. The operations role, dealing in a wide variety of operations positions, again, you're going to be dealing with a lot of different people. So we're looking for somebody who's comfortable in that arena. Absolutely somebody who wants to be in control. That will be their highest motivator, followed by economic, or return on their investment. And they're also going to want to follow the rules, and they are going to be very practical. They're not going to want to do a lot of research. It'll be pretty much, you tell me what to do, and I will get it done. And finally, we look at the IT role, again, looking for people with good people skills. That just in so many roles that works to your advantage. Someone who is interested in efficiency, someone who wants to do their own thing. So very much the IT people are very creative about how they solve their problems. They want to be in control. The regulatory is mainstream here, and they have a little higher theoretical because they are going to want to understand all this various stuff that's going on, and they are going to want to have a degree of work-life balance. So this will give you an overview and give you an insight as to how these various types of opportunities might well fit with your particular scores. Now, it's important that you understand that we're not saying this is the only combination that will work. We've been at this for 25 years, and we know that different environments create different situations. So someone who's very successful in one company in a very similar role may struggle in another company. And it's because of the environment, a different culture, a different mission statement, a different manager. That can make a tremendous difference. So use these as guidelines. First of all, understand yourself. Understand where your strengths are, both in terms of your behaviors and your motivators or your personal agenda, because you want to operate in an environment that will support those two things. And if you do that and then ask good questions as you're pursuing opportunities to determine, tell me about this manager. How does he like to manage? Is he very detail-oriented? Is he people-oriented, etc.? The more you can understand about the way in which you will apply your skill set, the more likely you are to have a really wonderful environment that is very rewarding for you. So I hope you found this helpful, and want to wish you the very best. And again, congratulations on acquiring your advanced degree. Bye-bye now.